Thank you so much for having me, Larry.
I've had techpreneur, I've had entrepreneur, but passionpreneur is a new one.
Yes, I'm the pioneer of passionpreneur.
Excellent.
Helping people to turn their passion into profit, entrepreneurs who are working out of their passion. So it's not so much about the need that is in the society, but what is it that they're passionate about, and then finding a need in the society to meet.
But that is going against the conventional wisdom, which is that if you're an entrepreneur, find a need somewhere and then solve it.
Yeah, so we're kind of going at it backwards in that you're finding out what you're good at and then looking for a need that you can match it with. You may find a need and you don't have a passion for that need. So somewhere along the line, you'll get tired of it. It'll be like creating another job. You know how sometimes we feel about our jobs.
Exactly. Yes. That's some of the things you do because you need the money.
Exactly. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to create something that you will be sustainable, you'll enjoy doing for the rest of your life.
So how do you go from idea to reality in the area that you're passionate about?
First thing, we do a personal audit and assessment, and we help you to see as far back as you're little, what are some of the things that you did that you enjoyed? What are some of the things that irritate you? Sometimes we tend to focus a lot on what you enjoy doing, but really what you enjoy doing is a fruit of our passion. The root of our passion is the frustration. What is that thing that absolutely irks you that you want to fix? So you have a solution for it, and as you start solving it, you're enjoying yourself and then you're realizing your passion.
So what you're trying to say is that you can have something that you're passionate about, but you can take it from that just a passion into making money out of it?
Absolutely, if you package it right. Most of the times people think that you can't make profit out of it because number one, is right under your nose.
Yes.
So you don't see it.
You don't realize.
You don't realize it, and then you don't value it because it comes easily to you, and people are often asking you for help in that area and they don't pay you.
Yes.
But when you begin to understand that they're asking you for help in that area because they cannot do it themselves, that's clearly a need. There's a gap that you're filling. So now you come around and package it for profit. What are systems you can put around it so that you deliver it as a service or a product? And then you can start collecting money for it.
Run us through the steps that you go through for typically in this program to get people from passion into profit.
The first class is exploring your passion. So we help you, we go through personal audit and assessments to see what are your strengths, what are your skills, experiences, so we match you with the business that you can handle. The next class is we explore entrepreneurship, so that you understand that technical skills are not enough. You need technical skills, you need management skills, and you need the right mindset for a business owner. So you don't get in there as a self-employed person, but a business owner who will be working on their business and not in their business.
So typically this sometimes means a complete change of mindset for most people.
Absolutely. There's a lot of paradigm shifting in that class because people are like, so you mean that's what I need to do?
Yes.
And it really helps because how you think of your business is how you're going to do business. So that's the second class. Immediately after you begin to understand what is that business that I'm going to do. And then we get into the third class where we help you to name the company.
Right.
Now, I like that class because it's very interesting. People come up with all kinds of names. And it's a lot of, sometimes it's very emotional because people kill some names. And those are names that maybe somebody took the name of their spouse and their first child.
Or they gave the name and their spouse's name, and you have Joachim Enterprises.
Some crazy something that you can't even pronounce or you can't spell properly. So after I go through the explanation of helping them understand the importance of a name, when you speak it so people catch it, people can spell it.
Right.
Will it look nice when you say www.yourname.com?
Yes.
And things like that. How will your email look like? Will it be too long? Will it be easy to spell? Will it be catchy? So they come around, and also we help them to develop their values, their vision and mission statement.
So the name of a company is really that important?
Some people
because some people just think, I just need the business plan together and I know what I'm going to do. The name is really secondary.
At PassionProfit, we think the name is primary. We believe the name is primary. The name can make or break you. People say you can name your company anything, but there's also the value in the words that we speak. The power of the words that we speak is so powerful. So we encourage people to take advantage of that. That, like every time someone picks up the phone in my company and they're saying passion, profit, they're speaking passion and profit into our company. So I always make fun in class and say, don't lose out on that benefit of people speaking life into your company every time you're speaking the name of your company.
So you really need to have a name that says something or means something.
Yeah, it would be better, especially now that there's so many names and there's so much noise about big brands and stuff like that. How are you going to stand apart?
Right, what is the next step?
The next step is packaging and presentation. Oftentimes we don't pay attention to how we present ourselves, and it's very important. You need to understand, we help them understand who is their target audience and what perceptions do that target audience have of a professional image. So they need to change their professional image based on their target audience. Like for instance, if you're going to do a program with the youth, you have to understand what the youth will accept and what they perceive as cool for them.
Right.
So we help them to understand that, and then also how to package their product or service, how to make sure you have, how can I call it, you have professional business cards. Don't try to cut corners, you know, because that is your image. Every time you leave your business card somewhere, you have left a piece of yourself.
Yes.
So when somebody sees that, is that the image that you want them to perceive of you? And then the importance of having a website, you know, having yourname.com as opposed to yourname.somethingelse.com.
Yes.
Something that can drive people to you quickly.
Yes.
Emails that are not Gmail and Yahoo. So all the, you know, everything about looking professional, being professional. So it's not so much just the look, but also having systems in place that you are really professional and you will deliver professionally.
Because that helps to sell you. You look like you're somebody who's serious and is committed to what you're doing, as opposed to having Larry Mado at yahoo.com.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. It's important to have your name, whatever the business name of your company is, .com.
Because you're saying this builds into the next step?
That builds into the next step. The next step, by this time they already know what kind of company they'll have, their products and services. Then the legal coach comes along and helps them to understand what kind of registration do they need to have. Do they need to have a sole proprietorship, limited company, a holding company? So he takes them through all that works and what it takes to operate as a legal business here in Kenya. So we help them to have everything right from the beginning. About VAT and all that comes in the next class when the financial coach comes. Do you need to pay VAT or not? How do you structure your finance systems? How do you get your payments? About contracts and stuff like that.
I like the part you're saying about not cutting corners, because sometimes you think when you're still too small, you can always hide from KRA and do things. At least from the beginning, you can hide because you don't have that much money. So you really don't need to be paying the little you have to the tax man.
Then just show that you're not having any money and report zero returns.
Yes.
Because the day they catch you, it will not be pretty. So we encourage people to start right from the beginning. And I always give an example. There's no child that is born and we say that this child is still little, so we wouldn't give them milk, you know, until maybe
they're 3 years old.
No. You give them everything. They come in packaged, first of all, with everything they need to make it in life.
Yes.
And you continue giving them stuff to progress. And that's how your organization should be. Start right and you'll grow right.
So the financial step also includes what? The
financial step includes finding out basically how to set up your finance structures, how to collect money, because sometimes that is a problem. People get excited and then they don't price right, or they price trying to cut down the other person, and then they end up losing. So the finance class helps you to price your product right, how to ask for it, how to ask for your money, how to make sure that if you give credit, how will you get your money? So how not to give credit if that is not what you're supposed to give. So having all those systems in place. And then about taxes, VAT, how to employ, the market rates for employment and stuff like that.
And then once you have your finances right, you need to get the legal aspect of things.
Absolutely. The legal coach comes, he shows you, because sometimes people think I need to start with as a sole proprietorship or a limited company.
Yes.
But he shows you what each registration entails. Then you decide from that, as opposed to just out of the blue thinking that maybe sole proprietorship, I won't pay more taxes or whatever. He gives you all the details that you need.
Do people prefer, in your experience, a lot more sole proprietorships or limited liability companies?
People tend to think first to start off as sole proprietorship because they feel they're going to run away from KRA.
Yes.
But either way, that is not what should determine whether you'll do sole proprietorship or not. How the company will grow is what determines what kind of registration you should take. So, and that is the legal coach stuff.
What is the final few steps?
The 2 other classes after that, there's the managing your organization. In managing your organization, we help them to set up systems. You have a marketing system, you have a sales system, customer service system, so that as you're hiring people and they're coming in, their systems already in place. Oftentimes people hire and they feel, oh, we are still small, I'll just show them how to do, whatever it is they need to do. But that's the danger, because whatever culture people find in the organization is the culture they will grow with. And then after 3-5 years, you find that there's a culture you don't like, then you start calling the consultants to come in, and you're paying all this money to change the culture. Instead of doing that, you can start right. Get the systems in place, and as people are coming in, you take them through an orientation so that they understand what is expected of them and what are the consequences if they don't follow what's expected of them. So it's a much easier way to build the culture that you want right from the beginning.
And one of the mistakes many people make when starting out is how to hire and who to hire. at that early stage, because you're trying to get really good talent and you don't have that much money to pay them at market rates.
And that is so true. One thing we want our clients about is trying to be cheap at the beginning.
Yes.
There are many ways that you can do different things without using so much money. Like now you can have a virtual office. And when you have a virtual office, all the admin aspects of your company are taken care of. You don't have the overhead of those three people, like, you know, the receptionist, the messenger type person, or the team maker. All that is taken care of under your rent. So we encourage people to go that way depending on what kind of business they want. And then when you're ready to hire, we ask people to look for the right person.
Yes.
Not the person they can afford. Because sometimes if you look for the person you can afford it, most of the times they're just trying to be cheap.
Right.
You might take an uncle, you know, a niece or a relative here or there, and then you're not paying them right. If you don't pay people right, they won't do right. And
even if they're your relatives.
Even if they're your relatives. Because relatives also have bills.
True.
Yeah, and then the worst thing is we take our relatives when we're studying, and then we feel, oh, there are relatives, they're not doing right. And then when the company is growing, we want to get rid of them. But you're creating trouble.
And you're severing family ties there.
Yes.
Give us a lot of bad blood.
So I always say, don't employ relatives. And right now, I hope none of my relatives are watching. But yeah, find a relative a job at a friend's company or something like that.
Yes.
No, not yours. Because you want to be friends with your relative forever. Help them somewhere else if you can. The last class is becoming your own boss.
Right.
Becoming your own boss, a lot of it is time management, because most of our clients are still working. One thing we recommend is don't quit too soon. So we help you transition. We help you have an exit strategy out of your work into your own business, because you have bills. There's a lifestyle that, you know, if you're starting a business, there's a lifestyle you've been maintaining. And you're not going to get that money you're getting on your job, no matter how bad that job is, from day one. So we encourage you to keep your job, but we help you with an exit strategy. And in that time, we need a time management system where you can know what are the things that you need to read and what are the things that you need to focus on. Then the next thing in that class is help networking effectively. A lot of people think that networking, oh, I'll do that one day when I get a marketer. That's not my role. But you are the main salesperson of your organization. No one can sell your organization like you. So we help them to understand how to network effectively. And because by this time you know what your passion is and you're clear about it, you don't have to network at every networking event. You go where your target audience is, and you go the right way. You go with your marketing toolkit. Make sure you have your 60-second infomercial, what you'll say, if somebody asks you what is it that you do, having the right business cards, and then having a follow-up system. Who are the people that you need to follow up with and develop relationships with? So it's not a one-time thing that you're going out for a networking event and hoping to get an LPO, but it's developing business relationships.
Two controversial things there. One is that you're telling somebody to keep your job until you have an exit strategy, but you're running a business on the side. Some people might consider that stealing from your current boss and your current employer. On the other hand, you're not paying enough attention to your business.
Not necessarily. Yes. I find that interesting when people keep saying that. I think it's a mindset we have,
right?
Because we work 8 hours and there are 24 hours in a day. We're looking forward to becoming a 24-hour economy. And if you're thinking that when you work 8 hours, I can steal from somebody else, then we are not ready for the 24-hour economy. So what I normally tell my people that are starting a business, your 8 hours at work, don't steal from your boss.
Work diligently during that time.
But stop giving him the lunch time. Stop coming when it's still dark to work and working for him. So you can do your work, because a lot of times you get to the office, and right now I think some bosses won't like me, but you know how we get to work at 6:30 or 7 because we're avoiding traffic? That's enough time to do something quality before 8 or 8:30 when we start work.
Right.
You can use your lunch hour to do something else. But oftentimes we're at our desk, maybe Facebooking or doing other stuff that's not adding value to ourselves. And then in the evening, you leave work at 5. Oftentimes people stay longer because they're avoiding traffic.
Yes.
So why not leave? Do your 8 hours, give your boss the 8 hours, at 5 leave, and go and catch up with your business work. And then if you don't work on Saturdays, there is some more time for you. If you don't, if you have leave time, there is some more time for you if you need to get away and do stuff. So it is doable.
So it's good to clarify that. And the second one is the networking aspect. How important is it for somebody who's just starting out, you're in your infancy stages as a business, to be able to network and go into those right events?
It's very important to go out, but go out when you're ready. And when you're ready means have your marketing toolkit. At least have a good business card and a nice website.
Yes.
I know many people think website is not necessary, but I recommend having a website as opposed to printing a brochure.
Right.
Because if you have a website, a simple catalog website, you can change it as your company is evolving, because your company will evolve. The first 2-3 years it will evolve, and if you keep printing a brochure, the printers tell you need to print 1,000 to make any business sense for them.
Yes.
How many 1,000s will you print for them before you get to a good fit for your company? So before you start networking, make sure you have your networking toolkit correct, your 60-second infomercial, your business card, a good business card. And when you give people a good business card and tell them, you can get all the information online.
Right.
Sometimes even before you tell them, they're already Googling you and trying to find you on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yes.
So online presence is very important. With those two, you are able to, to step out. And if you have a coach, because we guide you, what are the first things you need to do when you network? What are some of the things that people will be looking for so that you don't goof?
Right.
A lot of people go out for networking and they say stuff like, I'm a startup. You don't need to let anybody know
that you're a startup, yes.
Unless they ask you. Okay, because it's just like you go for a job and they tell you you don't have experience. So you're confident, you'll be able to deliver. So don't announce that you're a startup. Just let them know which company you're representing. You're the CEO of XYZ company, and what are your products and what value are you going to add to them.
All right, we've got to bring this to a close, but finally, what would be your quick thoughts for would-be entrepreneurs?
Would-be entrepreneurs, take your time. Sometimes we don't cook our thoughts, we don't cook that idea well, and we just jump out. I recommend take your time, do your research, ask questions, and then just take your time before you quit your job. Yes.
All right. Frida Owinga, passionpreneur and business coach, many thanks for coming in and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure's been all mine. All right, let's go across the pond and chat.